Hi everyone. So welcome to the CAT 2021 RC8. This is a slot 2 or slot 1 RC that we are discussing here, and this is presented to you by me, Kamlindu Chaudhary. Okay. Now, since we are a profit-oriented institution, so we need profit also to run these courses and these videos. So if you want the full course, the full course is for 13,499. QA and LRDI courses, LRDI and VRC courses. That means two courses are for are for okay. Two courses are for 9,499, and any one course is for 4,990. These are the course fees. You can buy it by going to catway.in. Catway.in. Okay. Now let us move to the essay. Okay. Now the RC says that the few words that are there in first few sentences are really difficult, right? Even I couldn't understand, or you cannot understand it by just going through it, right? So sleights of hand and conflate consumption with virtue are the central theme of a certain thirst of empire, a sweeping and richly detailed history of tea by historian Ekrat. So this is a book, right? So conflate, I do not know the sleight of hand that conflate. Okay, so we do not know the meaning of sleight of hand and conflate, but we would try to get it with the reading of the passage further, right? Do not get troubled here, right? Do not get anxious here. How did tea evolve from an obscure China drink to a universal beverage imbued with civilizing properties? The answer in brief revolves around this conflation. Not only now, conflation has again been used. The answer in brief revolves around this conflation not only by profit motivated marketers but by a wide variety of interest groups. While abundant historical records have allowed the study of how tea itself moved from east to west, and report is focused on movement of idea of tea to suit particular purposes. Now, we need to just wrap it up in one sentence, right? That is called a para summary. Now, what can be the sentence? Okay, he is talking about how uh, she has, right, written a story or the central theme on the central theme of how tea moved from east to west, right? And focused on the movement of idea of tea to suit particular purposes, right? How tea, not only how tea itself moved, but on the purposes of the movement of tea. Now, beginning in the 1700s, the temperance movement advocated for tea as a pleasure that cheered but did not inebriate. But industrialists soon borrowed this moral argument in advancing their case for free trade in tea and hence more open markets for their textiles. Factory owners joined in and compelled by the cause of sober workforce while Christian missionaries discovered the tea. So we have taken factory owners, the tea, the exporters, right, and the social and patriotic activity that uplifted soldiers and calmed refugees, tea services, right? Then we have taken the social and patriotic angle also. But it was tea's consumer directed marketing by importers and retailers and later by brands that most closely portends current trade debates, right? An early version of the farm to table. Now we have to see which current trade debates it is talking about. So, but it was these consumer directed marketing by importers and retailers and later by brands that most closely portends. Okay, that most closely portends current trade debates. And early, okay, current trade debates. Okay, where were we? Okay. An early version of the farm to table movement was sparked by anti-Chinese sentiment, right? They just went towards the anti-Chinese sentiments because they were giving them the tea and also the trade deficits. For example, if I am taking China, tea from China, if I am not giving them any commodity in return, then what would happen? Deficits would come. Okay. For engineers, it would lead to a debt with the Chinese, right? As well as by the reality and threat to adulterated tea containing dirt and hedge clippings. Okay, so this is about low quality tea, right? So it was moved to from garden to teacup by Lipton, right? It was moved to India and it was now supervised by educated Englishmen, right? While tea making marketing always presented direct consumer benefits, right? Tea drinkers were also assured that they were participating in larger noble projects that advance the cause of family, nation, and civilization. Okay. Now, Rappaport's treatment of her subject is refreshingly apolitical, right? You cannot get her political inclination from this writing. Now, effects of British colonialism, commodity histories are now themselves commodities, rather works investigate cotton. Okay, so commodities history are there, right? And morality marketing is now a commodity as well. It is applied to food, fair trade apparel, and ecotourism. So you might have got what is morality marketing. Yet tea is, Rappaport makes clear, a world apart, an astonishing success story in which tea marketers not only succeeded in conveying a sense of, but also, right? After but also you have to go, but also arguably did advance the cause of civilization and community. So that is the whole point of this, right? I have been offered tea, whatever she is talking about the experiences in different part of the world, to name few settings, that is Japan, from Europe to Japan. In each case, the offering was more an idea, friendship, community, respect than a drink. And in each case, the idea then created reality. It is not a stretch to say that tree marketers have advanced the particularly noble cause of human dialogue and friendship. So it is all about human dialogue and friendship. Let us move to the question first now. Now, the question first says the author in this book, the author of this book review is least likely to support the view that tea drinking has become a social ritual worldwide. Okay, so she is supporting that. He or she is supporting that. Okay, now tea drinking was sometimes promoted as patriotic duty. You have seen in the second one, right? Here, patriotic activity, as we talked about. Tea became the leading drink in Britain in the 19th century. That has not been talked about, right? We do not know whether it was a leading drink, but it was surely popular. Okay, and the 19th century, it was in 17th century that it was talking about the Britain, not the 19th century. Okay, so on both these, we can say that it might be the right answer. The ritual of drinking tea promotes congeniality and camaraderie. Now you need to know the meaning of these two words, and that is why I have asked you to do Norman Lewis, right? Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis, right? So this congeniality and camaraderie means social activities, right? That has been talked about in the last one. Now, the third option is the right answer in this case. Let us move to the second question. Okay. Now, okay. So the second question says today conflating consumption with virtue can be seen in the marketing of. Now, we might not know conflating, right? But we can check the options once. Sustainability armed farm foods, natural health supplements, travel to pristine destination, ergonomically designed products. Now ergonomic is something designed, right, which is most useful, right, in a more useful and efficient way, right? So this won't be the answer, right? The only option that stands out is sustainably farmed foods, as we have seen in the passage that the author had talked about these, right? The author had talked about this. Just let me improve the size. Okay. So as we have seen that was the case, right? That was the case. Okay. So sustainably farmed foods are the only thing that was conflation of consumption with virtue, right? That virtue has been talked about in the last part of the passage. Okay. So we can easily say that we can easily say that whether we can sustainably farmed foods are the is the answer. This is easy, right? Okay. Now let us move to the third one. Okay. Now the second question. The second question says that the conflation. Yeah, we have talked about this. Let us move to the third question. Okay. Okay, so third question says that according to this book review, the thirst of empire says that in addition to profit motivated marketers, tea drinking was promoted by all of the following except. So we have seen this in the second paragraph, right? Second paragraph says that now let us move to the, you can read the second paragraph. Let's move to the options now. The anti-alcohol lobby as a substitute for consumption of lower. Yes, it has been talked about. Now, second, tea drinkers lobbying for product diversity. Tea drinkers lobbying for product diversity. Okay. So has it been talked about? Just a minute. Okay. So the second option says that tea drinkers lobbying for product diversity. Did tea drinkers lobbied for product diversity? It is only about the tea, right? It was not about the product diversity, right? Any other commodity that they were looking for. Now, manufacturing who were pressing for duty-free imports. Yes, that has been given in the second paragraph. If you go through the bracket, right? Open market for the textiles, free trade, right? Okay. Factories to instill sobriety in their labor. So sobriety was that they would not remain in the inebriated state. So second one is an easy option to choose here. Now, let us move to the fourth option. Fourth question. Yeah. So the fourth question says that this book review argues that according to Rabaport, tea is unlikely other morality products because it was marketed by a wide range of interest groups. No. Was actively encouraged by interest groups in the government. No. Okay. So it has been said in the sentence that it was not only, but also, right, not only succeeded in conveying a sense of moral elevation of the consumer, and also arguably did advance the cause of civilization and community. So had an actual beneficial effect on social interaction and society in general would be the answer. Appeal to universal group and not just a niche section of people. That won't be the example, right? It was a universal group. It was not a universal group, but it was for all, right? It was meant for all, and social interaction give us a better option rather than this one, right? So this would be the right answer. Okay, fourth one will be the right answer. That is all for today. We will see you in the next video tomorrow. And yes, those who are looking for, okay, those who are looking for doing this in test format can do the test from link given in the description. Okay, that is all for today.